Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to a weekend midweek reviewing Premier League and Championship action. Let's get straight into it with a 0-0 draw. Exciting way to start. Brighton versus Nottingham Forest. This is a game which Brighton will be gutted. I think they didn't win. They dominated the game. Forest, fair play to them. They hung in there. Definitely the second best team, but they got the point. Which is a good point for them, and hopefully can start to build some momentum. But for Brighton, this will be really disappointing. They should have won this, and Deserby needs to get that first win. Moving on now to Selhurst Park, where Wolves were leading 1-0 at Crystal Palace, but they went on to lose 2-1. Traore got the opening goal in the 31st minute, but then Eze and Zaha scored in the second half for Palace. And quite a close game, to be honest. Not much separation to two sides. I would say Wolves may feel slightly aggrieved not to come away with a point, but Palace getting a big win now, and now kind of their fixtures have got a bit easier. They're definitely starting to move up the table now, which is good for them. But for Wolves, this guy in charge until 2023, I have to say I am slightly worried about them. Moving on then to Liverpool 1, West Ham 0 at Anfield, and Darwin Núñez scored in the 22nd minute. Hopefully things are starting to click for him now, but Jarrod Bowen missed a penalty in the 45th minute just on the stroke of half time, that was costly for West Ham. Liverpool probably were the best team and deserved the victory, but for still West Ham that will be really, really disappointing not to come away with a point here, but still signs of improvement. Liverpool, a win is a win, maybe not quite performance they'd hope to back up the Man City game, but 3 points is 3 points like I say. But moving on then to Newcastle 1, Everton 0 at St James's Park. Only goal of the game coming in the 31st minute through Miguel Almiron. And let's not be around the bush here. Newcastle were totally dominant, 16 goal attempts compared to Everton's 1, 4 shots on goal. Everton didn't register a single shot on goal. Really, really good performance here from Newcastle, and they continue to fly under Eddie Howe, currently sitting in 6th, so impressive. But Everton down in 15th, kind of starting to slide down the league a bit, you'd have to say. But moving on then to Brentford 0, Chelsea 0 at the Brentford Community Stadium. This is a game which Chelsea probably had slightly better of, but Brentford, fair play to them, they were competitive, good result for them. They'll definitely take it, I think, but I don't know, Chelsea, I think they will be frustrated. They really should have won this game, still being to the start under Graham Potter. It's 2 points dropped in what seems like it could be quite a close race for me, the top 4 for Chelsea this season. Moving on then to Bournemouth 0, Southampton 1 on Wednesday. This was a brilliant result for Southampton. The goal coming early on in the 9th minute through Shea Adams. After that, Bournemouth pushed for the equaliser but couldn't find it. First loss for them under Gary O'Neill, which will be really disappointing. Probably the Southampton home is a game that they would have had earmarked down as 3 points, but fair play to Southampton. They put in a really, really strong defensive performance to hold out. That is a big win for them, and hopefully they can start building some momentum now as Hassan Hintel still clings on. Moving on then to Manchester United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0 at Old Trafford. Fred and Fernandes were the only goals of the game in the 47th and 69th minute. Main story is probably Cristiano Ronaldo storming off down the tunnel in the 89th minute, and he's been suspended and all of that. But just focusing on the game, United here, this was their best performance of the season for me by a mile. They were absolutely brilliant and almost like a statement win. But for Tottenham, really, really poor. And it still does show they have some work to do, I would say, still currently. But moving on then to Thursday's games, Fulham 3, Aston Villa 0 was the score at the Craven Cottage. Reed, Mitrovic and Mings with the goal. Mings obviously with an own goal. Douglas Luiz was also sent off in the 62nd minute. For Fulham, what a great victory this was for them. They were dominant, clinical as well, and such a big victory. For Villa, it does mark the end of Steven Gerrard, and maybe I would have given a bit more time, but you can certainly see where the Villa owner is coming from. It's not been a good start. But moving on then to Leicester 2, Leeds 0, and a huge win for Leicester. Koch with an own goal and Barnes in the 35th minute with the goals for Leicester. Leeds probably had the better of the game, but I think most of the time when Leicester got those 2 early goals, it almost was a bit like 2-0 football, wasn't it really? Leicester deserving a victory, and they're starting to get out of trouble a bit now, just 1 point from safety now. But for Leeds, really getting sucked into it after a good start to the season. Fans chiming Marcelo Bielsa in the stands, maybe a bit too early for that, I would just say back Marsh for the moment. But moving on then to Tuesday's Championship action, And yeah, it was an incredible game at Liberty Stadium where Swansea defeated Reading 3-2. Reading had taken a 2-0 lead through Mate and Ince, but Darling, Cooper and Fulton were the goals for Swansea. And yeah, on the whole, you'd have to say Swansea were deserving of it, even when Reading were winning. Maybe Swansea were the best side still. But yeah, big win for Swansea. Getting momentum back after that loss at the weekend. But for Reading, 3 losses in a row, and you do wonder if their good start to the season is petering out. Moving on then to maybe a shock result at Carrow Road as Norwich lost 1-0 at home to Luton. Carlton Morris was the only goal again in the 62nd minute. McLean was sent off in the 66th minute. And yeah, I mean, like after that, Norwich, probably had more of the game, but only registered 1 shot on goal. So yeah, just not too good really from a Norwich perspective. But Luton, really, really good win for them. They're starting to move up the table now. They're in 5th, Norwich in 6th. And yeah, Norwich need to find some form pretty sharpish. Another team that needs to do that is most definitely Huddersfield. They were defeated 1-0 at home by Preston. Cunningham with the only goal of the game in the second half. And yeah, a game with not a lot between the two sides. Wasn't the best game I've ever seen, to be honest. Only 3 shots on goal and all came for Preston. So yeah, it just shows why Huddersfield do not look good at the moment. But yeah, good win for Preston. They're definitely moving up the table now, second in 9th. We're in a really, really strong start to the season for them. But for Huddersfield, almost at this point, getting cut adrift, and they really need a win soon to stop that, because yeah, they just don't look good at the moment. Moving on then to West Brom, as they were defeated 2-0 at home to Bristol City. Williams and Wells with the goals just before half time. And yeah, a game which Bristol City had only 2 shots on goals. And yeah, they were clinical. West Brom maybe had more of the overall game, more possession, more overall goal attempts. But yeah, still, I mean, like, great win for West Brom, for Bristol City, and yeah, after a few tough games, that will hopefully find some momentum for them now, but they are just inconsistent at the moment. But for West Brom, I'm doing all the hard work from the weekend. Moving on then to Stoke, and they were defeated 1-0 home by Rotherham. Lots of away wins in the Championship this week. Rathbone with the goal in the 6th minute, and yeah, I mean, like, let's face it, this was a bit smash and grab. Stoke were all over them here. Rotherham got that one chance and they took it. Great win for them. But yeah, for Stoke, they'll be absolutely gutted that they lost this, and they probably have no idea how they did lose it. They're currently sitting in 16th. It's a bit frustrating after a few decent games, but Rotherham in 11th, starting life under Taylor pretty well. Moving on then to Blackburn, and they finally picked up 2 wins on the trot, and it took them into the right at the sharp end of the Championship, into 2nd. It was a 2-0 win over Sunderland. Ben Brereton, Diaz and Wharton were the only goals of the game, either side of half time. And yeah, a game with not a lot between the two sides, to be honest. Yeah, there wasn't much to choose between them. Maybe Blackburn had slightly better of the game, but yeah, still good win for Blackburn. Sunderland though, frustrating for Tony Mowbray on his return. Moving on then to QPR, and they went top of the table with a 3-0 win against Cardiff. Simpson was sent off in the 18th minute, and Dyke scored from the resulting penalties. Then again in the 33rd minute, and Power in the 74th minute sealed the win. And QPR, as you might expect after that red, were pretty dominant here. And yeah, I mean, like, Mick Beale isn't going to Wolves now. Great news for QPR, and yeah, really just shows the loyalty you have. And yeah, you almost do feel like something special is brewing at QPR. As for Cardiff, 2 losses now under Hudson, maybe put some pressure on him. Moving on then to Wigan 1, Middlesbrough 4 at the DW Stadium. Keane with the goal in the 34th minute gave Wigan a lead, but that didn't last long because Jones, Watmore, Hackney and Akpom from the penalty spot for Middlesbrough sealed their overall victory. And yeah, this was Middlesbrough at the best, and Middlesbrough that kind of I think we all want to see a bit more of, because yeah, obviously it's been such a tough season for them so far. But moving 2 points clear of the relegation zone, much needed win for Wigan though. Hopefully this just blip. Moving on then to Coventry 1, Sheffield United 0 at the Coventry Building Society Arena. And yeah, the only game coming late on in the 87th minute through Martin Waghorn from the penalty spot. Sheffield United dominated the game, and yeah, they'll be gutted to come away and lose this one. But yeah, for Coventry, big win. They're finally finding some form now after such a tricky start to the season with interruptions with the pitch and everything like that. So finally now I think things are clicking for them. But yeah, for Sheffield United, this will be a really devastating loss, and they need to find some wins soon. Moving on then to Blackpool 1, Hull 3 at Bloomfield Road. Longman gave Hull in the 26th minute, but Dougal in the 31st minute equalised. Doherty gave Hull the lead just before half time, and Slater in the 79th minute gave Hull the victory. And yeah, Hull, I would say, a deserving victory. Really good win for them, and much needed as well. That will give them some real momentum boost, you feel. But for Blackpool, yes, sitting in 21st, Hull in 19th. Yeah, really poor result for Blackpool this, you'd have to say. Moving on then to Birmingham 1, Burnley 1 at St Andrews. Goodmanson gave Burnley in the 74th minute, but just 6 minutes later, Hogan equalised in the 80th minute. And yeah, this is a game which Birmingham, I would say, were good value for their point, definitely. And yeah, I think it just speaks to how much they've improved under John Eustace. Burnley as well, probably not the end of the world, getting a decent point on the road against a side in good form. But you know, they knew obviously the win beforehand. But yeah, I think both teams will be relatively content with that result. Moving on then to Millwall 3, Watford 0 at the Den. Bradshaw with a first half hat-trick, 8th, 26th and 33rd minute. Yeah, Tom Bradshaw, we know how good he can be, and this was just another example. We just need to do it more consistently now. But yeah, Millwall, really good result. Dominant, really clinical, took their chances, but for Watford, this is just so poor. And yeah, the decision to get rid of Rob Edwards, bringing Slaven Bilic, I mean, like, how long was it going to last, really? It just feels like it could go soon. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, rate, subscribe, and if you want to subscribe for daily football news and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.